All right, what's going on, Broncos country? Hope you guys are having a great start to your week. This is a pre-record, so you're probably seeing this on Monday morning. But man, another very intense game for our Denver Broncos, and we didn't get the win this time. We were, maybe you could argue, just a few inches away from getting our sixth straight win, but that's not how it worked out. Before I get into the breakdown, be sure to hit that comment or that like. Let me know in the comments what your thoughts are on the game as well as the rest of the season for the Broncos. The title of this video, yes, we got this loss to the Houston Texans, but I still feel that this Broncos team miraculously is playoff bound. Now, let's get into the game. The story of this game, in my opinion, was that the Broncos beat themselves. We did not play good old-fashioned Broncos country style football. We didn't play Sean Payton style football. What does that mean? We're running the ball very, very effectively. We're throwing downfield. We're not turning the ball over. We're winning those jump balls because we have big time, big sized receivers, and we're making the clutch plays. We're not beating ourselves. And did we play decent football? Like, we ran the ball for well over 100 yards. That's great. Did we only have 2 penalties in the entire game? Yes, but it was the timeliness of these penalties, particularly the Alex Singleton personal foul, just completely unnecessary on CJ Stroud. I believe this was after a third down throw that would have made the Texans kick a field goal. Instead, continued the drive, adds another 7 points onto the Texans score. We lose 22-17. It's a 5-point game. Could have been a 1-point game. And then, I mean, Russell Wilson's done a fantastic job of taking care of the football. And we did not have his best game this week at all. He was responsible for 1 passing touchdown and 1 rushing touchdown, but threw 3 interceptions. I think that doubled his season total, if I remember correctly. And I mean, the last one to win the game, it kind of looked like a broken play. The broadcast pointed out how the team wasn't really running routes. It was quite odd, and throws up a jump ball. And this one's tough because usually our receivers get those jump balls, but there, for the 3 interceptions that happened, the defensive backs on the Houston Texans made some phenomenal plays. And so you have to give their defense credit. I mean, they even played in a way which made up. I talk about this all the time with the Buffs. You got to play in a way in which you beat your opponent as well as you beat the refs. You know, you make up for any bad or blown call that might go against you that could turn the tides of this game. And honestly, that P. Ryan fumble, that scoop and score that the Houston Texans had, that should have put the game out of reach. And the Broncos got very lucky that they ruled forward progress for that. Don't agree with that call at all. And the Texans played in a way in which it made up for all of that. We had a chance in this game in the second half because of that call. And Russell Wilson, he's able to throw an awesome touchdown pass to Courtland Sutton, I believe it was. But at the end of the day, the Houston Texans made very timely plays, and we just couldn't get our offense going quick enough, especially in the first half. You know, only 3 points. You're playing a very good team on the road. And one of the differences compared to such as Buffalo, let's look at the Buffalo game, right? Our offense didn't get going either. But what was the difference? We were forcing turnovers. This was the first game, and since this winning streak started, that the Broncos weren't forcing turnovers, and they got close a couple times, especially with that CJ Stroud fumble in the fourth quarter. But it just wasn't in the cards. And if your offense is slow and if your defense is not making those turnovers, it's going to be hard to come back from 13 points and win the game. And that's exactly what the story was. But the good news, Broncos fans, is that the division is still in reach. The Kansas City Chiefs was a very close game to the Green Bay Packers. Patrick Mahomes throws an interception there at the end of the fourth quarter, or close to the end of the fourth quarter. really puts that game out of reach. So it happens to the best of them. But we have a remaining schedule where we control our own destiny. We absolutely do, with the wild card. And we need the Chiefs to kind of go on a little bit of a skid. But getting one of these wild card spots, I'm unsure if Indianapolis is going to continue to do what they're doing. I'm unsure if Pittsburgh's going to be able to do what they're doing with Kenny Pickett out, all that now. So the wild card is definitely in reach. The division still in reach. But here are our remaining opponents. Away next week, Chargers. Away, Lions. That's on a Saturday night. Don't forget about that. Then we finish out the season with home against the Patriots, home against the Chargers, and on the road, which should feel like a home game in Las Vegas, playing the Raiders. So again, this was a team that beat themselves this week. That's really how I felt about it. And even with making those mistakes, even with being -3 in the turnover category this game, this team still had the resilience to be within a play of winning this football game, where they had no business. They had no business being in this football game. So y'all let me know what you think in the comments about Russell Wilson, about the Broncos. I'm still of belief that I want the Broncos to spend a mid-round draft pick on a quarterback. Now, I was hoping it would be somebody like Cam Ward, looking like he's going to take advantage of another year, looking like Quinn Ewers is going to be coming back for next year. So I'm not really sure what these mid-round quarterback prospects would be, somebody that we could develop. Do we take a day 3 pick on Bo Nix and see what happens? Man, I don't even know. But Russell Wilson has played good enough to where I feel good enough about bringing him back next year. Again, we control our own destiny. I feel like the Broncos, we got to bounce back next week against the Chargers. The Chargers have traditionally been a get-right game for us throughout our existence, throughout my lifetime. We have to take advantage of that, get that winning mojo back, get to playing Denver Broncos football again. So I'll be back talking about the game next week. Maybe I'll be joined again by a friend or two. But y'all let me know what you think in the comments. Subscribe for Colorado, Denver Broncos, NFL college football content. I got more videos coming for you today. Broncos country, let's ride.